1978 Frank Zane, boom. 2021 mass monster Frank Zane. Hello Superset Maniacs and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have some fun, that's all. This is not about which bodybuilding era is better, this is not about what bodybuilding should be about, no. Today we're going to transform some of the greatest bodybuilders from the golden era of bodybuilding into mass monsters, only for entertainment and nothing more. Most of us love to lift, love bodybuilding as a sport, and we also love any kind of entertainment that revolves around bodybuilding. So if you feel the same way, grab your protein bar and sit back, cause we're going to have some fun. The golden era of bodybuilding is considered to be the 70s era. We're gonna have several bodybuilders from this period photoshopped into nowadays mass monsters. This is not the first time we're photoshopping bodybuilders on this channel, so if you like the idea, consider subscribing, cause this ain't the first nor the last video of this kind. That being said, let's get to the video. Our first entry is Robby Robinson. Even though he has competed throughout the 90s and even the 2000s, his prime years were in the second half of the 70s and beginning of the 80s. This is what prime Robby could have looked nowadays. Boom. He improved his wheels a lot, his midsection got a little worse, even though he kept the vacuum and also got a more size upper body overall. Our second entry in this video is Serge Nubray. He competed in the 70s and he is considered one of the most aesthetic bodybuilders of that generation. And I think we can see why in this photo. This is how he could have looked if his prime years were in the Mass Masters era. Boom. He as well has drastically improved the wheels, also got some better arms and more mass overall. His midsection did not get any worse, so we can assume this could be the late 90s where midsections still looked great. Our third entry is Franco Colombo. He competed in the 70s, retired in the 70s to pursue a powerlifting career, and he came back to bodybuilding in the 80s. He's won the Olympia 2 times in 76 and 81. This is how he could have looked like nowadays. Boom. He improved the wheels drastically. I believe this is what separates these generations the most. Nowadays guys have way bigger legs. Franco also improved the shoulders and the arms and also got a larger midsection. If you guys like the idea of this video and want to see more, I'll make a part 2 video if this one gets 1000 likes. Now let's continue. The fourth entry in this video is Frank Zane, the godfather of aesthetics. He's a 3-time Mr. Olympia in the 70s and he's considered by many the benchmark of what aesthetics and classic really mean. Now this is him if he competed in 2021. Boom. This is probably the most drastic change in this entire video. He's got more mass overall, he's got better wheels and a larger midsection, just like nowadays bodybuilders do. Our next entry is Sergio Oliva. Sergio is a 3-time Mr. Olympia during the 60s. He also competed in the 70s and 80s. He is considered by many the most genetically gifted bodybuilder of all time. This is Sergio Oliva if he competed in the 90s, let's say. Boom. He did not get too much bigger, that's why I say 90s, but those wheels are definitely above what most of the 90s guys had, especially in the first half of the decade. The last entry in this video is Arnold Schwarzenegger in the back double biceps. Before we continue, if you want to see Master Arnold in all the 8 mandatory poses, I have done this video in the past. I left you guys a link in the description. Arnold needs no introduction, so boom. This is Arnold if he competed after the 90s. He's got a better lower body, a wider back and more mass overall. So guys, like I mentioned, if you want to see part 2, let's get this video 1000 likes. Consider subscribing if you find these kind of videos entertaining and wanna see more. Also, don't forget to let me know in the comment section below your suggestions for part 2, and as always, thank you guys and see you next time.